Hi friends, welcome to Gallant IAS. Today we are going to start a new series of videos based on Civil Service Aptitude Test or your CSAT. So before going on to the topic, let's have a brief introduction about CSAT. What's actually CSAT is and how it is important as our prelims exam is concerned. So what's actually CSAT is? Yeah, it's just an aptitude test. UPSC is actually checking your aptitude, your way of logical thinking and coming to a logical conclusion within a span of time. That's what UPSC does with CSAT, checking your aptitude, your limit. So, CSAT is an important paper. Of course, it's an important paper. But a few years before, UPSC had made CSAT as just a qualifying paper. That means you only need 33% of marks in order to qualify this CSAT paper. Of course, you need to qualify your GS1 paper by the cutoff made by UPSC, but in CSAT paper, you only need 33% of marks to qualify. But still, most of the students find CSAT as very difficult, especially the students of the science background. So guys, I am here to help in order to clear this exam, okay, this CSAT paper. So for more videos on CSAT, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more updates from our institute, just go into the description box below and you will find our Telegram channel link, and please subscribe to that. Okay, now let's move on to the CSAT syllabus. So friends, this is our CSAT syllabus. So for study convenience, I actually divided the whole CSAT syllabus into two sections. Okay, the section 1 consists of comprehension, interpersonal skills including communication skill, and section 2 consists of logical reasoning and analytical ability, decision making and problem solving, general mental ability, basic numeracy, and data interpretation. So we are going to deal with section 2 first because it's the difficult portion for the non-science background students. And in section 2, we're going to start with the logical reasoning and analytical ability. In that topic, we are specifically going to start with a topic, namely dices. What's actually a dices? You had seen, right? Dices. Of course, we had seen why we are playing in Ludo and snake and ladder games and some sort of Chinese games. We use this dices. So, a correct explanation of a dice is it's a form of a cube, right? Yes, it's a form of a cube. A dice is a form of a cube and have values in all of its faces, okay? In all the 6 faces of the cube, if it contains some sort of values, then that is known as a dice, okay? So, there are many features of cubes and dice are similar. So, in order to study a dice, we need to know some basic features of cube also. So, I am asking you, what are the basic features of a cube? Let's look onto that. No, actually, we will be dealing with cube in a separate section, okay? It's very important in our CSAT paper. So as far as dice is concerned, we need some features of the cube in order to do certain problems in dices. Okay. So what are the features of a cube? It got 6 sides, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It has 6 faces. Cube got 6 faces and 12 edges. These are the edges, okay? 12 edges and 8 corners, okay? These are the corners. 8 corners. So, as far as dice is concerned, we can neglect these two. We only need the faces, okay? We need the feature faces. We don't need edges and corner when we are doing problems based on dice. When we are studying about the dices, we don't need these 2 features. Okay, this is what a cube is. Okay, now I'm giving certain values to the faces of this cube. Okay, I'm giving certain values to the faces of this cube. I'm giving 1 to this face, 2 and 3 in the front face, and 4 in the back face, 5 and 6. So it got some values now, right? So when a cube have some values on its face, then it become a dice. Instead of numbers, I am giving dots as a value. Okay, Here I am going to give values on the faces just by putting some points. Okay, I am giving a point here, 2 points here, 3 points here. This become a dice. Okay, it got some values. Now instead of points, if I am giving some symbols, okay, star, cross, line, okay, it got some symbols. Actually, the face got some symbols and it become a dice. So a dice is actually a cube consists of certain values on its faces either in the form of numbers or in the form of symbols or in the form of dot representation. Okay, values in the form of dot representation. That's what a dice is. Okay, now that's all about the introduction of dices. Now let's move on to the further studies of dices. Okay, from now onwards, it's very important for our examination point of view. Types of dices. So, according to the values given to the faces of the dice, we can actually classify the dice into two sets. The first is the standard dice and second is an ordinary dice. It's very important in CSAT. Okay, these two concepts are very important for doing problems based on dices. So, listen carefully. Standard dice. What's actually a standard dice is? A standard dice means the sum of the values on the opposite sides will be equal to 7. That is, if you are taking a dice and you are giving some values and the sum of the values of the two opposite sides in a dice will be equal to 7. Okay, I will be showing an example later. And consider the ordinary dice next. Okay, in an ordinary dice, it will be the sum of any of the two adjacent sides. Okay, any of the two of the adjacent sides will be equal to 7. Okay, that's what an ordinary dice means. I will show you an example. Okay, this is an example for standard dice, and on the left side you can see the example for general dice. Okay, now I will redraw the two pictures here. First, standard dice. Standard dice. Okay. I'm taking the first example. Okay. Here you can see the value of the first dice. Here you can see the value of the topmost face is 1 and it's 2. There are two adjacent faces, and in the second adjacent face its value is 3 and here it is 5. So the value of the face opposite to this face which have value 5 will be what? Will be 2. That is 5 plus 2 gives 7. So it's a standard dice. Okay, that is the value opposite, the sum of the values opposite, sum of the values of two opposite sides of a dice will give 7. That's actually a standard dice. Okay, now consider the general dice. In case of I will redraw that picture here. Okay. Please consider it as a cube. Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay, I had redrawn the example of general dice over here. So look this picture. Here, what's the explanation for general dice? General dice is the sum of any of the two adjacent sides will give you the value 7. Okay? Now look here. Here, the value of this face is 4 and the value of this face is 3. These two are the adjacent face. So, the sum of the two values of two adjacent face, you will get 7. So, it's a general dice. Okay. It's an important concept and we will be dealing with this concept in the further questions and all. So, keep this thing in memory. Okay. The concept of standard dice and general dice.